So in this video tutorial, I'm going to explain to you about lists. Now, so far in Python, we've looked at various different types of data types. For example, we've looked at strings, we've looked at integers, looked at floating point numbers. But one of the most important other aspects is lists. Now, a list in Python is a type of sequence, like a string. However, unlike a string, which can only contain characters, a list can contain elements of any type. So, for example, on the screen, we've got a list called name, and within that list, we've got six different names, or six different values. And what's important to remember is that the first value is always stored in index position 0, and then the second value is index position 1, so on and so forth until we get to Ben, who is in index position 5. Now, one of the good things about lists is that it can hold elements of different types. So, for example, we could create a list called score, and then within score we could have, for example, the name of somebody, Jack Smith, and Jack Smith could have various different types of scores depending on what he does. So that could be 14, 2, and so on and so forth. And then obviously we close the list by closing the brackets. We can also create an empty list by doing the following, and then we could use various different types of commands. For example, append, which would allow us to add information or elements into our newly created list. We can then add a value to the list that we just created, called a list, by using the command called append. So if we write list or a list dot append followed by the value that we want to add into the newly created list, this is how you do it. And then we can print it to the screen as follows. So if we try and run this, save of course, and then it should print the information that we just added to the list. I'd like to set a little challenge for you, okay, based on what you've learned so far. So I'd like to create two lists called numList1 and numList2. Within numList1, you should have the following values: 1, 2, 3, 4. numList2 should have the following values: 5, 6, 7, 8. You then need to concatenate, which means join together the two lists in a new list called numList3, and then you need to print numList3 to the screen. At this point, you need to pause the video because I'm going to put the answer on the screen in the next few seconds. Okay, so I'm going to put the answer on the screen right now. So you should have something that is similar to this that is on the screen, which will produce the following output. So it's essentially just creating two new lists, concatenating the two lists into a new list, and then printing the new list to the screen. Okay, so your second challenge. What I would like you to do is to create a program in Python which defines an empty list called a list, append a string element apple to a list, define a list called b list containing 20 integer values of your choice. Then you need to concatenate a list and b list and assign the values to c list. And finally, it's a little bit of a tricky one, something that I haven't shown you, so you are required to do some independent research to try and figure this out. You need to remove the last element of c list and assign it to a new value called last c. Good luck. and it's going to be really interesting to see how you get on with this.